Hi, I'm Rosie.
And I'm Christina.
And welcome to the first Valid Vibes podcast.
So we are the owners of Valid Vibes, which is a clothing brand, but it's way more than that. Now we're a podcast. We have a lot of exciting things coming.
And so Valid Vibes, we started because we've been through a lot of... Can we curse?
Yeah.
We've been through a lot of
But I'll bleep it.
And we just, we want to help other people out as well. So our brand is for mental health awareness, but we want it to be relatable, authentic, and kind of funny. But you have no idea what the hell we've been through just to be here today.
We've been through a lot just to try to get this podcast to happen today.
What time did you pick me up today?
2:00.
Okay. Christina picked me up at 2. Yeah, she picked me up at 2 to start this podcast, and we were like, oh my god, we need a setup, we need chairs. That's just it, right? We just wanted chairs. I mean, she got the microphones yesterday. Do you know how expensive chairs are?
Like, no, seriously.
They're so expensive.
Yeah, we looked everywhere for these chairs. Okay, so let's just tell the story. Why not?
Yeah.
Like a quick little story time. I had to return this microphone to Target, thinking I'll get my money back. No. Here's a gift card. Great. Now I have a
$140 gift card to Target.
On our business card. So I'm like...
We don't really go to Target for our business. We don't really have to.
Right. There's not really much. Like, if it was Michael's, great.
I know.
Thank you. But anyway, so we're like, let's just buy chairs. Like, 140. Like, it's going to be less than that.
Yeah, no problem.
It's not less than that. Like, so we find these chairs. These beautiful chairs.
I hope you like them.
You can't even see them, but they're so cute. They're comfortable. We're like, this is perfect. We're Ellen. We are Ellen DeGeneres. Like,
yeah,
these
so
are
these give off, like, Ellen, like, talk show vibes.
Yeah. So we're like, these are perfect, blah, blah, blah. No tag. No tag on them. So we're like, they can't be that much. So we're sitting. The girl comes over to help us out. Oh, they're $200. Okay. No. So we left. And we went to a bunch of other stores.
In Jersey. So we drove over the bridge. It was like 40 minutes. And we went to a million different stores. These were the cheapest chairs. Okay? Chairs. Over it was like $250 and up. These were the cheapest options. So we spent how many hours in Jersey?
Like 6. Yeah,
6 hours in Jersey just to end up in the same chairs that we were in the beginning.
Right. So we went back.
So I hope you guys like them.
This is what we're working with right now.
Yeah, and
we love it.
We have this plant here.
We have this plant. We hope you like our plant. We should name the plant.
Yeah, I know. We should name him. Valid.
Valid plant. It's valid.
It's a pretty valid plant, if you ask me.
So we're just going to introduce ourselves in this episode. It's basically just an introduction. The future episodes will be much more entertaining, we promise. But this is just
want to introduce ourselves to you.
Introducing ourselves.
And basically how me and Christina even became friends.
How the brand started, how we became friends, all that stuff.
It's because of the stuff we've been throughout high school, basically. We just graduated college. So... in high school, we went through very similar situations. We always crossed each other's paths. Like, I was waitressing, and she'd come in with her boyfriend, or, and I just, like, knew her from high school. Like, I've seen you around.
We went to the same college.
But when we first started, I thought you didn't like me.
I didn't think you liked me either.
So
we used to walk past each other like we hated each other.
No, like, we give each other, like, a look. I would be, like, lost going to class, and I'd be like...
just because she thought I didn't like her, and just because I thought you didn't like me, we'd be like,
Isn't that
like,
so weird?
And I don't do that. I didn't do that with, like, anity else in my life. Like, you're the only person I'm like, she doesn't like me.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because we've never met, so, like, why wouldn't you like me? Like...
The fun facts about me and Christina is that we each have our own other fashion brands, but it's, like, a customizable clothing brand. So I would go live on my brand's Instagram account, and you'd come in all the time. I need some tie-dye clothes in my life. I do tie-dye, which some of our merch is tie-dye. But you came in, and then...
That was literally it.
Like, that was it.
I remember I was the only one watching. You, just got on, and I was like, oh, my God. It was right before Christmas, so I needed Christmas gifts. So I was like, oh my God, like, I need this. And at that point, I already was thinking, I told you I wanted to start my own brand. And I was like, how do you do it? Like, how do you start?
Yeah.
And basically, I ordered from her right away. And then we just started texting. And then from day one,
we clicked. Oh, I was up all night. Okay. Fun fact about me, I fall asleep at like 10 o'clock at night. I am a grandma. But I stayed up and I was like, oh my God, I can't stop text. Like right now we were like nonstop texting.
Yeah.
And
we were sending audio messages on the first day of us talking.
Yeah.
Which I never, ever. She's the first person that I started sending audio messages to. Like, I've never done that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Literally.
God.
Like, when you sent one, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'll send one.
I'd rather audio messages than text.
Because now I do. Now I send them religiously. I don't text. I like sending audio messages.
Like, I'll be cleaning my room and I'll be like, just like...
So easy.
Doing it. But... yeah, day one, we started texting, just relating to each other about so much that we've been through very similar situations, whether it be toxic friends or just, like, basically people leaving our lives with no explanation and not knowing why.
Exactly. Like, we want to emphasize, especially with our brand and everything, that, like, going through something can be huge and it could be so little. Like, today we went through something. Like, we just related on something, even if it's so little as a toxic friend. Like, it's not little, but it's not this huge big deal. But it's like, oh, you felt that too? Oh, okay.
I know.
But yeah, so we basically clicked from day one. Then I started my brand. But again, I will give Rosie the credit that I would have never started it if I never started talking to you. Because, and I said this with even our brand, like, I always have an idea.
I know.
And I'm like, but how do I do it? And she's that person. Like, that's why we what do we say? We're head and heart.
Yeah.
Or something.
So
like, I have all the passion.
Yes.
But you have the brains for it. Like, okay, let's do this.
Head and heart, definitely. Yeah. We both have such, like, a passion for mental health, not because of what, you know, we've been through, but our loved ones. And how there's just such a stigma around mental health. We both come from very old-fashioned households. Like, my dad is an old-fashioned Italian man. Okay, so if I tell him I need a mental health day, he'd be like, what?
He's like, excuse
me? Come again?
Yeah,
go to work right now.
That generation was just raised so much, you know, so differently than our generation. I feel that we can hopefully change a lot of the viewpoints.
Well, listen, that's just the generation, but there's a lot of change.
But that's why, like, we started this because not even just the podcast, the brand, as a relatable, you know, place to go, clothes to wear. Like, we're both wearing something from it. It's just cute and trendy. Stay valid. Like, yes, like, my feelings are valid. Like,
yes, my feelings are
valid. It's just a
reminder,
and it's also two 22-year-old girls telling you this, I'm not saying it to be mean, but like someone in an older generation
who
telling
didn't
you
grow
where you're
up
like,
the way we did.
Yeah, where they'll be like, oh, okay, like they don't really understand. I feel like our age, you know, we're trying to speak to our age.
Yes, because we grew up very different than older generations. I feel like our generation, it's all because of this, the phone, the social media. There's expectations. This one is, you know, doing this. This girl looks like that. Why am I not there? And you learn social media isn't real.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It is not
real. It's not like that. So get off the phone, you know, start talking to people around you and be authentic, because everyone is going through similar situations. You are not crazy. Right? Because our brands, we want to form a community because people go through the same situations, but people are quiet about it because no one has a person to talk to, or they feel comfortable enough to talk to. So we want people to be able to come to Valid Vibes and make it like a safe place, you know?
Because that's what we were to each other. Like, so going back to when we started talking and doing audio messages, it wasn't just like, oh, like, hey, how's your day? It was like therapy. Like, I never had...
cry.
You cried to me on the first day of us being friends. And then I'm like, oh, let me tell you something. Like, we went like...
Yes.
I remember now.
Yeah.
Like,
instead of picking up the phone and like calling each other, like we do audio messages, but the topics we talk about are more like I don't know. I just felt so comfortable to just like open up, and it's like, oh my God, you've been through the same thing, so let me open up about my situation.
Right, and it's not even also like, oh, you've been through the same thing. It's like, oh, you're willing to listen to me, I feel. You know what I mean? Like, there's, my whole life especially, I've had a lot of toxic friendships that, like, I try to get a word in, and it's like, no, it's about me now. It's like, well, what about me?
You'll realize, too, a lot of people.
So I know a lot of people probably listening are going to relate to that. Mm-hmm. You just have to find that person. So if you don't have that person,
they'll come along.
We're here.
They'll come along, and we're here, and we want to form a community.
It took us 21 years to find that person.
Yeah, exactly.
If you think about it. It's crazy.
I know, but we believe everything happens for a reason, divine timing.
Like we said, we were always running into each other. She was always my waitress. Out of all of the waitresses at that restaurant, you were always mine, and I used to go there all the time. Went to the same college, went to the same high school, had similar friends, kinda. Yeah. Like, there was always a path. We ran into each other in Hobby Lobby once.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Which was, like, nowhere near our house, so it's, like, not a local place.
I know.
That it's like, oh. And I remember going to Mom, like, yeah, she doesn't like me. Like, we had no reason to think that, but... Well, look at where we are now.
Look at where we are now.
So we want to talk a little bit about why we started Valid Vibes, because we've been saying Valid Vibes, and some of these people might not even know what that is. Yeah. It might just come from YouTube, so hello, welcome. You want to start? Or?
Yeah, so me and Christina created Valid Vibes because our friendship started from just opening up to each other and giving each other such good advice, because, again, we both been through very similar situations. We both also had, well, I had a loved one that was going through a lot of mental health. You know, we both know people who struggle, and we both give each other such good advice that we want to share to everybody. You know, Valid Vibes is not just a brand, but a community. We want people to feel comfortable enough to come to us as a safe place. Right. Not even just me and Christina, but just to go on our website and just, you know, relate to each other. Right. Even if it's anonymous. If you need to hear it right now, hear it, because there is such a stigma around mental health that, you know, a lot of people cannot handle it, you know? And it's important to have that outlet where you feel comfortable and that you're like, oh, this person been through a very, like, similar situation. I'm not crazy. So this is where your feelings are valid. The sticker, we have the sticker,
That's
we have the shirt.
Tagline. Both of these.
You're not crazy. You're not crazy. Your feelings are valid. You're feeling that way for a reason.
So we had a conversation because there were some things going on, we'll just say, with things related to mental health and loved ones, and I realized the stigma, because you'll tell someone, oh, you know, they're struggling with something mental health. It's like, oh, they're crazy. There's something wrong with them. Like, stay away.
Mental issues.
Right. And it's like, but no, they're not. And you see it firsthand. Like, yeah, maybe we thought that at one point too. And now I'm like, but it's not like that. Like, they just are dealing with something. They'll be fine. Like, they just need a helping hand.
It is all up here.
Yeah. And so I remember talking, we were out to eat, both of us, and I said, I just want this stigma to go away, because it was bothering me so bad that people were thinking that. And I was like, when is Mental Health Awareness Month? I remember this was like in December, maybe January.
Yeah.
And I was like, when is Mental Health Awareness Month? So we looked it up, and it was May. We're like, I need you. I said, I was like, I want to do another, because we used to do collabs or whatever. I was like, I want to do another collab, Mental Health Month. Don't know how, don't know what, but I want to do it. And we started looking up quotes and inspiration right away. We're like, let's do this. It was going to be
so excited.
Just a collab, and we would both post it on our businesses.
Accounts, separate business accounts.
Then months later, we started probably in March. Yeah. Literally 2 months before we launched, we finally were like, let's do this. And we were hanging out, planning it all out, and we're like, this can't be just a collab. Like, this is so important. This needs to be a separate brand.
We thought of endless opportunity.
We just kept thinking and thinking and thinking. Like, the podcast was the first thing we thought of before we even thought about the clothes. Yes. We're like, we need a podcast.
I know.
Because we always just talk to each other and we want, that open space.
These are our audio messages to you guys.
Literally. So we just like, we can't make this a collab. Like, this has to be a brand.
This is a whole brand.
And we're like, do we do it? Yeah. We made the Instagram instantly.
No.
Without a name, though.
We were in my room. Okay. For like an hour.
Maybe
and
more.
We were like, oh my God, wait. This is not just a collab. Yeah. This is a whole brand. We're like, all right, oh my gosh, now we need a name.
We need a name. Like, we just did it. We were just like, let's do it.
We came up with these weird names.
Like, I remember the first one was Unapologetically You.
Yeah,
because we wanted it to start with you.
You, because it all starts with you.
Yeah.
And we want it to be authentic, so...
I don't know where Valid Vibes came from. I don't remember. I think we just kept saying all these names. I think we did, like, You're Valid. Names. Oh, we did You're Valid.
You're Valid.
You're Valid with a U.
Yeah, because Valid stands for... Valid Vibes is authentic. Mm-hmm. So we came up with Valid because that's just another word for authentic, and stay valid. Stay who you are. Your feelings are valid. Like, everything just, like, formulated, and we're like, this is it.
Yeah.
Then we came up with the logo. Yeah. It was the same logo, but instead of green, it was, like, this blue that we love. The tie-dye blue that's on our website. Love it. But then I was like, Christina, mental health, the color is green.
Dark green.
And this green is just so trendy right now. Like the lake green. We fell in love. I love it. We wear our stuff all of the time. Mm-hmm. And it's so comfortable.
So we started with the clothes. We started with the designs. We made all the designs. We bought our website right away. We made a bank account for our business. Like, we were like, let's do this. We invested so much time and so much money into this brand.
I know.
Like, insane. It was just, like, I would have never done that by myself. No. I would have never been like, oh, yeah, this is, like...
We motivate each other. We just
were like, let's go. Let's do it. Like, I know. We opened a whole ass bank account together at 21 years old. And we're like, let's do it.
I know.
So we invested, like, this is an investment. These chairs,
I love them.
Let me tell you.
Of them, please.
No, so.
The clothes. Each of them have quotes that me and Christina both came up with, because me and her give each other such good advice that we sat and we were like, what are some good quotes? We each have our own quote that's very special to us. On our website, we have a blog as to explaining what each quote is. Mm-hmm. So don't trip over what's behind you. That was a special quote from me because I was constantly looking in the past. The people that hurt me in the past. Why did they do me like that? Or why
it's more like the why. Like, going back, it could be years ago, and it's like, but why did that happen? It's like, but who cares?
Yeah.
You don't need to know why that happened. It happened,
and it got you to where you have to be today.
Exactly.
So that's just my quote, but each of these quotes are good advice to people.
Something that got us through the tough time.
Yes, it got us through the tough times, and we know that other people also relate to these quotes. Mm-hmm. And the whole point of fighting the stigma against mental health. People, don't speak up. They keep, their feelings in a box because they're too scared to share it. But when these people, it's like, it's a statement. When you're wearing the quote that got you through what you went through out in public, that is so, empowering. And our sweatshirts that say, if you're reading this on the back,
it helps the person behind you. Like, I have worn that out, and people have stopped me and said, like...
Imagine being out and seeing, someone, let's just say on the escalator, and you see that, I'll cry. I would cry.
It's literally, it says, don't give up, I'm so proud of you. And it's just things that you might need to hear if you want to, or if you want somebody else to hear it.
Yeah.
Also, we were saying, when we made these quotes, it's like... People are scared to speak up about mental health, but mental health is more than a diagnosis. It's not, oh, you are bipolar. It is not a diagnosis. I had a rough day today. I failed my test. My boyfriend broke up with me. That all affects your mental health. It doesn't mean
you don't have to
it has to be this extreme thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I had a sucky day, I had a sucky week, I had a sucky year, and it's like, it affected me, and I want to talk about it, but people say, oh, there's worse things going on, or, you know what I mean?
Yep, that's it. But
and it's like, there's really bad forms of bad mental health, and there's the smaller ones, but it's still, it's one and the same. It's still something. And people will say, oh, your problems are not as bad as mine, or not as bad as this one. And it's like, yeah, but I need someone to relate to me, or to, talk me through it. It could be something so little as failing a test.
Anything. Another thing, though, that kind of goes with this is, let's just say you're fighting with someone. We all been through it, a friend, a boyfriend, and you're feeling a certain way, right? And you want to get it off your chest. But instead of the other person, trying to put themselves in your shoes and relating to what you're saying, they'll gaslight you or make you be like, what are you talking about? Everything is fine. And then the next day, they're doing the same actions that made you feel uncomfortable or, uneasy.
Right.
It's because, you have to understand you're feeling away for a reason. Your gut feeling is never wrong.
No.
We learned
Our
that.
Our gut feeling told us to get these chairs and we didn't listen.
Yeah.
And then we did.
And here we are. Could have saved ourselves a couple hours. But I'm saying that's where your feelings are valid comes from. You have to understand that, all because you're upset with a friend or a situation. You're upset. You're not going to change the way you are. You're not going to change the way you feel. If that person's not willing to change those actions, how can you? And you don't have to force yourself to.
Exactly.
Walk away. That person, you shouldn't have to repeat yourself to the right person. You say it once, they don't change, that's it. You realize you're better off alone too sometimes.
No, it's very true. And I honestly did not learn that until, again, I'm just hyping you up right now. As if I'm not kidding. I never learned that because my, whole life growing up, high school specifically, I had a lot of friends that were not friends.
And you get FOMO. You're in high school. It's normal.
Yeah, and I look back now and it's like I'm such a different person because I'm like, okay, you don't want to be a good, nice friend to me, then,
there's no reason to have you in my life. I don't need you.
And I've learned that I like being alone sometimes.
Yeah. I feel like once you've been through a lot, that, you deal with these toxic, negative people, it's like, I feel so much better, in my own space. I know I won't, screw myself over or whatever. If you want to go somewhere, let's just say, you have a friend that always, flaps on you, dubs on you, just go by yourself. Exactly. And you feel, but that's, the whole point of, being mature, too. That's what comes with it. I
also learned to not rely on people, I feel, because I would, back in the day in high school, I would think, okay, it's Friday. Yeah, my friends are going to hang out with me or whatever. We're going to do something. It would be this plan, and then they would either flake or do something without me, and it's like, all right. And I would be really upset about it. And I would be like, well, I don't want to be sitting home on a Friday night or a Saturday night doing nothing. And now that's all I want to do. I'm like, that is all I want to do. And if you want to go out with me, fine. I'll have fun and I'll go out.
Yeah.
But if I don't get invited anywhere, let's just say people are hanging out, I'm like, whatever. It's fine.
I used to fear being alone.
Right. No, same. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And missing out on things. I'd be like, I would watch the Snapchat stories. I would watch the, whatever. Even if I decided not to go, I would have serious FOMO. And now I'm like, who cares? Like we said before, social media is so fake. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Because people will post when they're out,
It's not as fun as it looks.
Not at all. And sometimes, yes, it's so fun. But the people that are posting on social media are the people that are not having fun.
Okay, think about it.
You're not on your phone.
The best nights that we have.
I was not on my phone.
We're not on our phones. Our advice to you is to stop worrying about social media and have fun for yourself because it's literally irrelevant.
If you're worried about your friends going out without you or having serious FOMO, at the end of the day, you're not going to give a shit. No. You're really not, because at the end of the day, they're probably not having as much fun as they make it seem, and you're probably having a better time at your house watching Netflix. So.
Seriously.
That's
and we're not lying. It's the truth.
It's okay to be alone. is what I think.
Yes.
You know, it's okay to stay home for a day. It's okay to stay home on a Friday night. You don't always have to do it, but it's okay if you do. Like, I used to think it was, like, so embarrassing, so boring. I'm not doing anything. Everybody else. And meanwhile, I, like, you know, even if it was me just watching my favorite Netflix show, like, it relaxed me. I was fine. I went to bed early. I was home safe. It is what it is.
I know.
And I bet you they don't even remember that night out that I missed. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's not worth it to get hung up over that.
No, not at all. But I think when it comes with age, though, that you, like, actually...
Definitely.
And, like, self-care. You know, when you do your self-care.
High school sucks.
Yeah, we're, like, talking to high schoolers now.
I think we need to name this podcast High School Sucks.
Yeah. Like, we're talking to high schoolers right now. Oh, my God, but, like, yeah, because...
High school sucks.
We're, like, you know, we've been through it in high school, and now it's, like, 4 years passed by, and we're telling you, you know, in the end, like...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Your true friends
I would say
matters.
that to my middle school self, too. Like, in high school, I would say that to them. You just keep growing.
I'm having deja vu.
Told you.
Because you know what I'm going to talk about right now?
Your letter.
Yep. Funny that we're talking about this because my freaking letter that I wrote to myself, I was in high school, and it was my senior year, and my teacher made us write a letter. You didn't.
I didn't do it, and I'm really upset about it.
My teacher made, like, my class do it. And, you know, we were writing our future self a letter, you know, basically 4 years from then. So I got my letter in the mail the other day. I was a mess. I was crying before I even read the letter. I sent Christina a video. And where were you? You were at Millie's?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Literally at the job that she was working at.
Yeah. And, yeah, so my letter came in the mail, and I sat myself down in my room, and, you know, I just started crying right away. It was like, dear future self, you know, I'm everything that I hoped I would be. You know, my college experience was great. You know, I met my true friends, which I didn't have in high school. And I have a dog that I am obsessed with. And I literally waited until I graduated college to get my dog. So I was like, I hope you have your dog. You know, I hope that you got a new car. I have a piece of shit. Well, I had a piece of shit truck. Linda, you've never been in Linda.
I have once.
Okay. It's an experience.
I was there towards the end of Linda's life.
Oh, yes. But now my sister has the truck. But I was like, I hope you have a new car. I do. But I read that letter at a time that I didn't feel...
You didn't feel like you were doing anything that you wanted to do.
No.
You needed to hear that at that exact moment. Like,
yeah.
Literally a few days before you got that letter, you were like, I'm not where I want to be right now. Like, I want to be doing this,
Another
this,
audio
and this.
message to Christina.
Literally. And then 2 days later, she's like, oh my God, I am where I want to be right now. Like, this is what I wanted to do. And yeah, it's not everything that you wanted to do, but it's still a lot more than you're giving yourself credit.
Don't forget to give yourself credit. The shirt is on our website. You see how these quotes just, like, they're from us, literally giving each other advice. But we both just graduated college, and, you know, everyone has a dream, you know, and an expectation. When I'm 22, I want to be doing this, aka my dream job, you know, and
it's just not...
You can't plan out your life. I feel like realistic. A lot of people do.
It's not realistic. It happens when it's supposed to happen. Like, we both have jobs, but they're both not exactly what we want to be doing right now, and that's fine. We
have to be grateful
for that
we have something. You know, even if you're not... This is when the whole idea of perception comes in. Even if you're not in a place where you want to be grateful that you're there. That's it. Be grateful that you're there and that we even have jobs, you know? Yeah. But we'll get there one day. You know, my advice to everybody from my personal, like, issues is never have expectations. You know, for anything. You know, try even, like, for example, this is, like, an easy example. When you have plans to go out, you know, like, you make expectations, like, oh, I'm going to be with this person. We're going to have this much fun. Like, things like that.
It never works.
It never works. You're not going to have a good time because you had expectations. But what are the best nights?
Unexpected. Or just, like,
Yeah.
You know, what's the word? Not unexpected. Yeah, unexpected.
Unexpected.
Like,
minute.
Last minute. That's what I was going to say.
Last minute.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, we were hanging out. We were in the pool. And I was like, let's go out tonight. Like, let's just go get a drink. And it was a Tuesday. And we're like, what's going to be fun on a Tuesday? We're like, who cares? Like, let's just go. So we went, and it was by the water, and it was really cute, and it was fun. Like,
I know.
We had a good time, and it was unexpected and just
no
last
expectations. Minute. Even with a person, a boy, don't have expectations because you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
What I learned is like needing nothing attracts everything. Everything happens at the right time.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like career. That's it. We give each other this advice because we both go through it.
We both don't take our own advice.
No. Okay, we don't. We don't. But it's so funny because like well, you were going through something the other day.
Yeah.
And you were sending me audio messages and you were crying and like whatever. And I was like, I think you should check out www.validvibes.org. Because you have to remind yourself, because the quotes that are on our shirts are from our conversations.
No, literally. And every time you vent to me or I vent to her, we say our quotes. Like, I remember I was sending
like
you
now,
a message
they
and I'm like,
now.
You're like, but I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I'm like, your feelings are valid. Like, remember that. You made up that quote. Like, your feelings are valid. Well, not you made up that quote, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, you
use that quote.
Right. You use that quote. You're telling other people this. You're wearing it. Remember it. And it's like, why is it so hard to take our own advice?
Yeah. Give yourself... Okay. This is a pretty good thing that I just thought of. When you're going through something... Picture yourself sitting in front of you. What would you tell yourself? Right?
Yeah.
That's it. What would you tell yourself?
Act like it's your friend that you're giving advice. Yes. That's really true.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
That's good.
Are we in therapy? Is this therapy?
It is therapy. It's a fun therapy. It's a fun therapy, also, but try that out.
Little PSA, we are not therapists.
No.
Don't come for
Okay,
us.
this is the thing too. We're not educated on mental health. Okay? But
just
I think
experience.
But I think that is what makes us, more authentic. Because we are people. We are all human. We're all going through things. No
matter how big or small, everyone has something going on right now. Nobody's life is perfect. And
no.
If it is,
we don't have to be certified to give you advice.
No.
Because, we want to be like your friend. The same way we give each other advice. Let them hear it too.
Just a little PSA, so nobody come for us.
I know.
We're not professional. We're just here to be relatable and fun and authentic in a safe space.
It's not professional advice. If you're really going through it seriously and you want to talk to a professional, go to therapy. There's nothing wrong with it.
Everybody needs it, I think.
Everybody needs therapy. We always say, it's like, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. But
I'm just lucky that we have each other for that reason.
I know.
Like, I don't think I'd be able to deal with a lot of the things that I was dealing with without you.
Oh.
It's the truth.
I know. No, same.
Literally, name this episode "Hyping Up Road."
No, but every minor inconvenience, I'm sending you audio messages as I'm driving.
No, literally. Where before it's like, oh, I don't want to bother people.
I know.
And it's like, I don't feel like I'm bothering you because you'll never make me feel like I'm bothering you.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys probably, like a lot of people probably feel the same. It's like you need to find that person. And they're out there.
And it's going to take time because we met when we were 21.
No, yeah, 20. Yeah.
20.
If you guys need advice on anything, even if it's like, oh, I failed the test or my boyfriend broke up with me or whatever it may be, comment it down below. Or message us on Instagram if you don't want other people knowing. We also do a lot of anonymous Q&As on our Instagram
Everything
polls.
we want anonymous.
Yeah. But also don't feel afraid to say that it's you dealing with the problem. That's what we also want. Like, so if you want to DM us, we're not going to expose your name. We're not going to tell anyone. Like, this is supposed to be a safe space where you guys can come to us for advice, and we're here to give it.
If you're not comfortable, it's anonymous.
Right.
We just want you to... let your feelings out because when you leave it bottled inside, it all goes here and, everyone needs to let it out. That's it.
And there's things that me and Rosie talk about in our friendship that we're dealing with that we even dealt with years ago. And it's like, why did we never deal with this? And it's like, oh, there's a lot of things that I, would talk to her about that happened to me years ago. And it's like, oh, I never healed through that because nobody was willing to listen, or I was scared to talk about it.
Yeah, and you don't heal from it.
And I did, and you don't. And now I feel like I am. So it's like, you need to just talk about it. So you need to feel like you have that safe space, and we want to be that safe space.
You can't bury everything down. Like, if you've been through something, you cannot bury it down and be by yourself because you won't heal it.
Exactly.
Feel it to heal it.
Feel it to heal.
Oh my God, you can't make it up. What did I say?
All of our quotes.
What did I say?
All of our quotes. Literally.
This is great because it's happening. We're not like forcing it. Like, our quotes are from our conversations. You know, whatever you relate to, freaking, you know, wear your shirt proudly because other people will relate to it and you'll make someone's day wearing it in public.
Right. So, speaking of Instagram, we did a little anonymous Q&A on Instagram asking you guys to send us what you would like us to talk about, like topics and advice, and we're going to answer a few of them now on our podcast.
Let's do it.
So, the first one says, what are your guys' form of a self-care routine? Do you want to go first?
The fact that, like, tacos came into my head immediately, I just pictured me at, like, a Mexican restaurant. With the sombrero.
No.
And a margarita in my hands. You can check out our...
She goes, tacos. No, that's
tacos
so
and tequila.
We have a shirt also that says, my therapist told me, this is Rosie's quote, my therapist told me to eat tacos and drink tequila. So there you go again.
It helps
but
out.
Anyway, no, it's true. It's doing something that you like to do that makes that, like, serotonin.
Like Christina's is, my therapist told me to go on a Target and Starbucks run because we did that today.
Me every day.
Cheers.
Except today, Target really stressed me out today.
I know.
But yeah, no, that is like a form of, you know, self-care.
That's self-care.
It's something you love to do. Other
makes
than
you
that,
happy.
what else do you do for self-care?
So along this topic, self-care is treating myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, people are like, oh, that's too much money, or do I really need that? Or that's too many calories. Let's just say I want to get like a cookie or something. You can't think like that.
No.
You know, if it makes you happy, freaking buy it.
Right.
That's my self-care.
At the end of the day, I always say this, time is priceless. Money comes back. Time does not.
Yes.
Listen, we are not rich. Another PSA. We're not saying that. We're saying that, you know, memories are what you're going to remember.
All for that.
You know, time doesn't come back. And money does at some point. So do what you want to do.
We're gonna book the trip.
Right, and if you
we booked the trip.
We did, but that's so recent for me too. Is like, just, I'm gonna do it. Like, I want to do it, so I'm gonna do it.
I didn't even care about how much money, or
now
anything.
I do. But I look back.
This was in April. Now I do.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean. It's like, but I look back and those memories are so fun.
That's all you have. You can't take the money to the grave.
Like, if you die tomorrow, God forbid, doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank account.
No.
Doesn't matter what you ate yesterday.
No.
Okay, so just live your goddamn life.
Or how many days you showed up to work. No, seriously. No, can I openly talk about this because I'm really sad about it? So I go to my gym every morning. I wake up 7 a.m. with my cousin and we go to the gym. But
nice to have motivation.
There was this guy that was like older man and he was there every single morning. Every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Always. You know, I've been going for 2 years now. He passed away. Randomly. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even like... It's like, alright, then the next day he's replaced.
Aww.
I'm just saying, like, put yourself in your life first.
Yeah.
You know? Put those memories first. Take off of work. Who cares? Take a sick day.
For me personally, doing my makeup is a form. It's therapeutic things to me. Nobody else is there. It's just me, the mirror, the makeup, quiet. Sometimes I'll put a podcast on, watch it. I'll watch a Netflix show, music. Yeah. And it's just very therapeutic to me. And I could be going nowhere and it's like, I'm just going to do it anyway because it's fun. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, whatever. So doing my makeup, reading for me is very therapeutic. I love reading.
I agree with
Riding
you.
Riding my bike. I got a bike.
God. Yeah.
I love riding my bike. It is a good time, and it's very calming, especially by the water.
I know.
Highly recommend.
But when you said with makeup, I feel like sometimes getting ready for an event is more fun than the actual event.
Yes.
I blast music in my room, and my phone's on the charger, right? Because I'm getting ready to go out, and it's just me, myself, my makeup, and the mirror. That's it. And I'm just like feeling myself. Sometimes I'll do a little pregame while I'm doing my makeup. It's like me time.
No,
I live for that.
Getting ready is a form of
getting
self-care.
ready to form
and
self-care.
getting unready.
Oh yes. Oh my God. I'll put the sweatpants on ASAP.
Oh, sweatpants, sweatshirt, no makeup on, and makeup on. Yeah. Either way, it's like
so basically everywhere but the event.
Literally,
it's fun.
No, but that's like the self-care part is like it's just you. I feel like just being, again, going back to being alone. Yourself. Being with yourself for a second.
Learn from yourself. Get to know yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's just yourself. And once you fall in love with that...
All you have is you at the end of the... What is that from?
Write that down.
What is that from? I'm going to put that on a shirt.
All right. So, our next question is, what do you do to stay positive during the dark times?
Oof. This is hard. It's hard to stay positive when, it seems like there's so much negative around you. But I think the biggest thing for me is always trying to find at least one thing. And I feel like, it sounds cliche, but starting with your whole day with saying 3 things that you're grateful for.
Yeah.
Already is finding something positive in your day.
Me and Christina both, we both did that when we were going through things before we met each other.
Manifest.
When I was going through it and I was in a depression and it basically felt like my whole world was crumbling down, it was like, I went on YouTube and I got advice and it was 3 things you're grateful for a day. I'd write
such a good technique.
The coffee I got this morning.
Exactly.
Right? Whatever I did that day, or maybe a person like my mom, or even just anything.
I'm alive, or whatever.
I woke
healthy.
Up. Literally the bare minimum. Once you do that a day, it's what is that gonna do? You'll see. You're gonna begin to appreciate everything around you. And
no, I agree. I did the same thing. It's once you put it out there, oh, I'm grateful for this, you'll start to believe it, kind of oh yeah, I'm grateful that I had a cup of coffee.
I really appreciate
so stupid,
you.
But it's I'm lucky enough that I was able to buy myself a cup of coffee or whatever, and it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. But yeah, I think starting your day with even just naming one thing that you're grateful for or anything, you'll be able to find something.
Yeah, and you'll really start over time. We would do it every night. I do it every night
every morning.
And it was such a little thing. Okay.
They actually sell a lot. I have a gratitude notebook that I think is very helpful. You write in the morning. You write 3 things you're grateful for. You write an affirmation for the day. You write what your plans are for the day, what you're excited about. And then at night, you reflect on it. So you write, again, 3 things you're grateful for. How was your day? Did you accomplish what you wanted to? Stuff like that. And you reflect back on it. Or 3 great things that happened today.
Yeah.
So it says what you want to happen versus what did happen. And it's oh, yeah, actually that was good today. I could be home all day and it's oh, but I finished a Netflix show that I wanted to finish. And it's oh, that's a good thing.
That's a form of self-care.
Exactly.
Getting to just know yourself, fall in love with yourself. And I also feel people, everything happens for a reason. We always say that. You go through things. You go through things to formulate you into the person that you are. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Another quote,
Write that down.
It's pretty cliche, but it's true because, we wouldn't be even friends today.
No, literally.
If we didn't go through similar situations, what we went through.
All right, so I think that was our first episode.
That was really good.
Yeah, sorry guys if it sounds bad or if it looks bad. We have no idea. Promise next time it will be a lot cuter. Stay tuned. Give us some tips, some advice. Maybe you guys give us some advice on what you think we should put back here. But we promise.
Yes.
We just wanted to start. We wanted it to start, so this was going to have to do for now. Little valid plant in these chairs from Target. This is what's gonna have to do.
They'll do, because we sat here today and we did our first freaking podcast.
Yeah, we just needed to do it.
We've been waiting.
Yeah.
So many months.
Yeah, exactly. Since the beginning, since before we even made the clothes, we wanted to do this.
But seriously, this is a community. Like, feel free to reach out, comment,
be there for each other.
Oh my God, it's YouTube.
Yeah.
Comment, like, subscribe.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We're really excited, and we'll see you guys in our next episode.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching, and stay valid.
Yeah.